Thank you, Penguin Random House, for permitting us to read this book.
Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to my home. I'm Miss Derenzis, and I'm going to read my favorite picture book of all time to you. It has such a beautiful message. It is a book written by Don Freeman. So I'm going to get started. First, I want to show you the cover. This is a hardback book. This is the anniversary edition, and my family bought it for me as a gift because I love it. But I'm not going to read from that one. I'm going to read from this one. This is mine. I got it when I was 4 years old, and I want to show you my penmanship. It's me practicing my name. Okay, it is a great book. I usually cry when I read it, but I've been practicing, and I think I could get through it without crying. Okay, again, it's by Don Freeman. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department store of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along, take him home. Okay. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." Oh, no. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator and up he went. Could this be a mountain, he wondered? I've always wanted to climb a mountain. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was an amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I've always wanted to live in a palace." So what this was, boys and girls, was a furniture store. And it was the furniture department of the big giant department store, which we don't usually see anymore. He wandered around admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. Now, do not try this with your mattress, boys and girls. He got into some trouble. Watch. As a good reader, I predicted this. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled, bang, into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Oh no. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above, and when he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now, who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." Uh-oh. Oh, no. He flashed the light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all. And there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" One of those little ears. And that's the glow of the flashlight. And that's the picture that is on the back as a little blurb to see if you like the book. It's always good to read the back of the book. The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with all the other animals and dolls. So he wound up back where he was in the beginning, and no button. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the sales lady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, as she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know. I've always wanted a home." And Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." She didn't want to change him. She loved him just the way he was. She just wanted him to be more comfortable. "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. And that's my favorite story, Corduroy by Don Freeman. Now I want to show you something cool. When Corduroy turned 40, they did this special anniversary book. It's hardback, and the pictures are the same. They're just bigger. But look at this. In the back, they sort of cartooned and miniaturized or made smaller things that the process that Don Freeman went through, the sketches, his letters that he typed, talking back and forth to his editor. And look at that. I'm going to pull this out. It's like a pop-up. So these are like copies of what he really sent and typed, and you can see he's made little corrections and notations on them. So you can see, boys and girls, when your teachers ask you to revise and edit and to try again, even famous talented writers do this because we want your writing to be the best that they can be. And in this case, Don Freeman got to write this beautiful story and have it published. And this is a little letter that he wrote, because with every step of the way he would send his sketches, because he's also the illustrator of the book. He'd send them to his editor, and I'll show you some of those, and he'd always send a letter with it. This is like a little treasure trove for me. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you love the story as much as I do. And I hope you're reading and you're relaxing and you're doing your homework and you're practicing your social distancing, getting some fresh air. And I cannot wait to get to see all of you. Thank you for coming to my home and reading with me. And you have a good one. Bye.